Let's talk. This will be my designated spot. LOL ski. Turn my fan off again. Hello, this is Aisha. Welcome back. Today, I've just been thinking about a lot of things, and it's like every day that I just live life, I discover more and more of my blind spots as a human, and we all have blind spots. And so today what I discovered is that the effect of narcissistical parents and of being the scapegoat child, like I'm the third child, and there's 6 of us. So, but for the longest it was 5 of us, so I was like the middle kid. And for a while, like, I felt invisible because my 2 oldest siblings were getting older, had things that my parents had to focus on them for, like a car or sports and stuff. And then my 2 youngest sisters were like just like babies, so they needed extra attention because they needed to be taken care of. And my younger brother was just, big soccer head, always at soccer every single day, so getting rides back and forth for that. And I played soccer a bit, but it just left me, I felt in the middle, and I always said I feel invisible. And I think right now I've shifted, but I didn't realize my blind spot of how me telling myself and how me feeling invisible my whole life from my parents is the trauma that I can't become a pygmy, and I can't project that onto other people, in the sense that today I was at work, and it's weird, I felt myself confusing self-love with narcissistical egotistical behavior. And I was like, hey, okay, I'm telling myself I felt insecure, I felt invisible, like I have my whole childhood. And one of the thoughts that came up was, oh well, like comparing myself to other people to make myself feel better. But that wasn't truly me or how I felt. That was just like a thought that came up that helped fill that void, I guess, or mask it. And then my true self really came forward, which I've been not training, but like I think subconsciously and more consciously, I've been trying to rewire my brain and my thought processes and shift from a lack mindset to an abundant mindset. And I just was telling myself, like, yeah, like everyone's unique in their own way. Like I'm good. And it was like the thoughts, like in my other video I was talking about the thoughts of fireworks, and we're so quick to attach our identity to them, to attach those thoughts, like, hey, like, yeah, actually, like I'm actually goated, like they can't talk to me, nah. But then it's like that's also narcissistical because I'm trying to make up for something to feel good, instead of believing that, okay, we're all good, so that means I'm good, And I felt myself get triggered. And another thing that I was pondering on today was just being detached and how to detach, because it seems like a lot of the time everything really is a projection. And being the scapegoat, I've been focused so much on their projections onto me and how they're talking down to me and doing all these things, and I forget that I have my own projections based off that abuse, where if someone says no, or if there's a slight shift in tone, I will project a whole, like, I will project something that's not really there, I'll not even, like, it's not even just like adding a story to it. I would just, like, someone, like, I was watching a video and they were talking about how if someone doesn't like, you are allowed to exist basically without feeling like other people are stepping on your identity. And so today at my job, I love to give things like away to people, and like especially when we're closing and I don't want to throw away the food, and I'm like, hey, you want popcorn? Like I have my bag of popcorn and stuff. And right, I literally went and I was asking this parent and another person, I was like, hey, do you want this orange juice? Like I poured orange juice for a smoothie, but then there was like a lot left, and I was like, I just don't want to waste it. And this aligns with like just my personality, right? But the two people who were there, they said no thank you. And I felt myself, the past me, my triggered trauma side, trying to pull me into a spiral of thought, of feelings, of like feeling like, hey, like they just adding a story to it where it's like, oh, they said no, and they think that I'm just trying to like oh my god, they think that I'm trying to like be weird, or like I was telling the truth. Like I was already just defending myself to defend my identity and why I asked that, when really, and then a thought just came, and it was the most clearest thought out of all of the thoughts I was having. It was, they just said no, back up, look at the interaction of what actually happened without my projection on it. I asked them if they wanted something, they said no. Sometimes I say ask them if they want popcorn, they'll say yes. Like I literally, like some clear thoughts, I think my inner knowing, my higher self or whatever, just always says the truth in the midst of the thoughts that try to pull me back down, because I felt myself wanting to like cry. And that's been happening a lot lately, where I am literally changing my reactions, my responses, but I still feel a pull trying to pull me to like become a victim. And I have to just fight that. And I'm like, okay, I'm not really big on the universe or whatever, but what if the universe did reflect back to what I give it? What would the universe think if I'm crying and getting a victim and being all upset because someone said no to me offering something, and feeling like that step in my identity? And I'm like, and I thought, okay, what if this didn't happen? No, this whole situation didn't happen. Would I be calm? I'd be calm. I'd be happy. I wouldn't cry. There would be no problem. So I was just trying to like, although it felt like I was being pulled down, I was trying to remain myself, composed. Everything's good. Look around me. Like I was looking around me outside when I was praying outside. I'm like, everything is fine. If this didn't happen, then you wouldn't feel any different except content with life. And so how am I letting just little things pull me back into like the blind spot of being addicted to the pain, because that's what I'm used to. I'm used to the projections, but this was my own projection. And I literally got grounded and detached by just the thoughts of, it's just a simple no. And it doesn't mean anything about me or what I was doing or my intention. They just didn't want it, and that's fine. We move on. And yeah, like there's so much more to life than that. And these thoughts, like, I don't know, it's so weird. I'm learning so much more every day about myself. And I think that was like just a critical eye-opener. And I'm gonna make this into a chapter in my book as well, definitely, of just this in the sense of, okay, basically I want to make my book a fiction book based off my life experiences. And so for this one, it's like I'm just imagining like I'm walking up a hill, and I'm like perfectly fine, I'm content, life is good, like my future is looking bright, I'm pursuing my dreams. But it's like a weight or like a ball that's like attached to me trying to pull me back. And so I want to personify these things, and it's like I feel it trying to pull me back to be like, oh my god, blah blah blah. But then I'm like, no, okay, let's actually keep going. But just because I'm still going doesn't mean that it's not there. And so I think that's where we think that like we get so defeated. We're like, oh, I'm just gonna, like, I'm never gonna change, like I'm always gonna feel this way, I'm like, they're always gonna keep doing these things, and just keep like allowing ourselves to kind of self-sabotage and not allow ourselves to grow. And I'm holding on for dear life with these circumstances. and still trying to go up and still see the best and still look around in the midst of all my triggers and say, I'm okay. Everything is fine. I'm literally so blessed. And have that become like the guiding thought, the faith that will keep me going, even while that's still there. Even while my trauma and my trauma responses are still there. And in hopes that one day it'll just let go, because it's like, oh, I'm not giving it the reaction that I used to. And I was kind of talking about this in my other video about like, if the more you feed into the thoughts, the more you feed into the emotional distress, the more you get disconnected from reality and from the truth. And that's like the root of the suffering. Really, like the root of all suffering is attachment. And how attached am I to the story of my life, of being a scapegoat, of feeling like they just never change. And I think a part of that too is like the hope of wanting them to change, you know, and then they keep disappointing me and they keep doing that, being toxic. And so what part of me is like accepting that that's forever, that that's all the time, and projecting that to everywhere I go, not knowing that these are new people, these are new circumstances, that everything is not a reflection of people being toxic. Okay, I'm sitting on my chair now, my spinny chair. Anyways, I forgot, there's one thing that, so the creator is YV_edit, and they just posted a recent video, go check it out. One thing that stuck with me, I was listening to this and I was like, whoa. The antidote to dealing with like toxic parents, narcissistical systems, is understanding that although we think that narcissists are just like, the idea of them is that they love themselves a lot, the reality is that they hate each other. They hate themselves the most. And they always come from a place of lack. That clicked. I said, okay, I see that, because them withholding love and affection is because they feel lack of that. Everything that they do stems from them feeling the lack of that, so they overcompensate, they become manipulative because they don't have an ecosystem, they don't have that love. And then she said, so they are radically in lack, radically in hatred of self-loathing of themselves. So to combat that, you have to be in radical self-love. And that's how you not allow yourself to become like them. And in my situation today, I'm like, because I found myself like, and I never have thoughts like this. I thought I'm like, you know, a girl's girl. I thought that I'm, you know, like very down to earth and I love people, and but I just was so aware of the trauma, I guess, thoughts, trauma response thoughts that try to creep in to make me feel better. And the solution, or the true me that I walked away with, was the radical self-love and radical abundance, knowing that, hey, like everything is good, we're all uniquely blessed, we're all uniquely human. And I like, in radically loving yourself, I know that I'm that girl, but I don't need to like compare to feel that way. Just pouring into yourself is how you're then able to celebrate other people instead of being jealous of them, or, you know, all these weird things, that weird feelings or whatever that you might have to people. And you only have weird feelings to people because they have what you want. But once you encompass that, then you're no longer relating to them in a sense of a weird energy. You are able to truly be present and collaborate and clap for other people. And so that's how I was like, okay, so it just became so clear to me that my path, my journey right now is to radically be abundant and love myself. And another video I saw was talking about, if I can overthink the negativity, I would overthink and be so upset about narcissistical people and what they did to me and how they hurt me and blah blah blah, then I can also overthink the abundance and the love and the joy and peace, right? it's like shifting my attention and my focus onto loving myself and loving the world, and knowing that there's enough for all of us, that there's none. And literally that's the opposite of the lack mindset that the narcs have. So yeah, that was super eye-opening today.